Hey guys, um, just gonna go over what happened to me a couple weekends ago with the battery for the 12-volt system in the camper here. Um, Basically, what happened was we got to the campsite and we're filling up the fresh water, and I went inside to check to press the button to see how much water was actually in the tank, and the light came on for a split second, and then all the 12-volt in the camper was gone. Even though we were still attached to the car, we still had no 12-volt system, 12-volt power beyond the battery in. So I knew something wasn't right after that happened. That the tongue jack still worked fine. So I knew it wasn't the battery, because that was running off the 12-volt without the vehicle being hooked up. I was still able to operate the tongue jack, but I had no lights on the inside of the camper at all, until obviously we hooked up to the shore power. But so I couldn't find anything online on where's I looked inside the fuse panel inside the camper. I couldn't find anything that said for the battery. It was for everything else but the battery. So once I got home that Sunday, I grabbed all my tools and tried to trace from the battery back into the camper itself to the fuse panel. I was gonna do whatever I had to do because I didn't want to take this thing to the shop, because who knows, but trying to figure it out on my own. But I tested the battery. The battery was fully charged, 12 volts, and everything's working on that end. So I checked all the connections and so on and so forth. Everything's 100% on the battery end. So basically what I did was check all the wiring, which I had put in wire looms to make it all nice and pretty. But so I checked all the looms and I went through the looms, and I actually found where the 12-volt goes into the camper. It's not even inside the camper. So let me get situated underneath and I'll show you exactly what I found. Okay, now I'm underneath the camper along the frame, and that's where the battery is, right there. So I can trace the wires that came along down through here. They came up and everything runs into this box. It's pretty much a residential, it's like a double gang box, but I can see the red wire right here, which is the battery, and then the actual battery ground is the white one right here, which goes to here. So there's the ground for the camper, and then on the other side, everything that runs into the camper, it's like all the trailer lights. Yeah, it's like trailer lighting, green, brown, and then the power that goes to the fuse panel is right here, white and red. So took the panel off here. There we go. It looks like a rat's nest, but it really isn't that bad. What you're going to look for and test, I thought it was a fuse, so I took everything apart, took all this out, and this is only held on by two self tappers, one here and then one on the other side. But how I proceeded to test this was, I took my meter and got the ones with the alligator clip, put the ground on. Not much room under here to work. There you go. There we go. Alright. And then I took the positive lead and I put that on there. You can see right there that I have 13 volts and I'm not hooked up to the vehicle at the moment. It's just sitting in my driveway. So I have juice, and so how I figured it out, it was this. I thought it was a fuse, but it's not. It's actually a breaker. I didn't realize that until after I took everything out. And there's two posts, one that comes from the battery and then one that goes to the camper. So on this side I had the 13 volts, but when I put it on this side I had nothing. It was 0. So I knew it was this breaker. But I didn't know it was a breaker at the time. I thought it was just a fuse that I was going to replace, but it turns out it was just to be a breaker. So what I did was to test it, I got double-ended alligator clips, and I pretty much bypassed it. I put one end here and the other end here, and that gave me 12 volt inside. So I knew it was definitely that. But if I can get a power light on here, a brighter light, if you can see, it's not too bright, on the bottom of that breaker there is a button. I can't tell if I'm too much light in there or not, but there's a button on the bottom of that breaker. So in order to reset it, the breaker itself, just hit the button on the bottom. I wish I would have known that before I tore everything apart. But yeah, it's actually a breaker. That was a fuse, which makes it nice. So let's keep this video short. So I hope that helps anybody who is coming across the same issue that I did. This is for my Winnebago camper, but it, you know, just follow your battery on any travel trailer. Just follow it right along. You'll come probably into something similar to this setup, and then you could diagnose it, and hopefully it's a quick fix for you. Because like I said, I didn't find anything on the inside where it would be in the main fuse panel that was for the battery. There was nothing in there for that, so don't even bother at first. Just trace it out, troubleshoot it that way. If you don't have a jumper wire, what I did was like the old days with a solenoid, like a starter solenoid. I put a screwdriver in it. Just be careful, this is grounded. But yeah, you could jump these two and to test it that way. They work fine for me. Same as jumpering it, pretty much you bypass it. But everything worked fine, and once I reset that breaker, I was good. So yeah, it's like right at the bottom. If it's not on the bottom, and it's on the top. Let's look for the button. So this is a 2017 Winnebago. But alright, well, hopefully that helps anybody else out, because I couldn't find anything online or on YouTube or anywhere anybody having this issue before. So there you go. Alright, take it easy.